What's up, everybody? It's going to get weird. It's the podcast. Frank Green, Scotty Clark. It's going to get weird.
What?
What? I'm not going to say. You know what? Let's talk about that.
We'll talk about that. No, real quick. Do your thing. Do your
intro. You bunch of weirdos.
No, do your normal intro stuff, and we'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, what's up, you bunch of weirdos? You want to get cool? You want to get weird? You want to talk about some uncomfortable shit?
No, I mean, yeah, you go.
You want to get sassy?
Oh,
sassy mama? You want to get weird? You came to the right fucking place because it's going to get weird. Frank Green, Scott Clark. You want to reach Frank Green?
You can
find him.
Find me.
I'm pretty available on any social media page you want to go to. Just look for fake Scott Clark. That's my way of trying to get away with this shit. Saying anything you want to.
Or look for all the hokey tags on Twitter and just follow the hokey tag. All right. So what we were talking about as we started here, am I distorting it all, Scott, right now?
A little bit. You are.
It's proximity effect. All right. So what we're talking about here is literally moments before I hit record, we started the podcast tonight. I said to Scott, real quick, by the way, and this is no big deal. So I just think about this, and this happened last week and a couple times, I said, that thing you start with, and you say, "What's up, you bunch of weirdos?" I said, "Don't say that. It sounds Bush League." And he goes, "Well, tell me what you said."
I worked hard on that, man. I thought that was great. I was like Arthur. She's a hooker? I thought I was doing great.
I was like, okay. He's like, I thought that was great. And I'm like, that's the hokiest shit. It's like something you'd hear on like the
hokey. That's what I do.
I know. That's like listening to Wolfman Jack or something at midnight.
Everybody but you about the Wolfman Jack. When you coming with the hits on the 1940, what's up, you bunch of weirdos?
Hey, weirdos. Out there on a Saturday night, are you Wolfman Jack?
You know what? I'm going to say it from henceforth.
I know you will. So, and so Scott got disgusted, laid back in his chair. He's like, fuck. This is son of a bitch. The thing I thought was so cool, and you think is hokey. You don't want me to do. So
I'm still fucking doing it.
So he comes on, and it's a good conversation. So obviously he's doing it. So yeah. So I lose. I lose some battles. I don't lose a lot of battles.
No,
but I
do none.
I do lose this battle because
that's
his part of the podcast. He brings us in, and I'm not going to bust his balls over what's up, you bunch of weirdos. I'll just say that I do not support that portion of the program.
This portion of the program is not sponsored by Frank Green.
So anybody who has a problem with that, take it up with Scott. Anybody who loves it, take it up with Scott. But yeah, chalking up a big X for me tonight.
Now here's the other thing before we get the guys on, and I'm telling you, folks, we've got it, folks. I don't. That's you know what? I will bring out folks and babe if I can call people weirdos.
Hey babe, you want to come? Hey babe, come on. Hey, you want to stop in later?
You can make the sun shine.
Hey, we got chips and dips. Oh, just go light on the Coke. Got a little Coke, babe. Go light on the Coke, babe. Got chips,
sprinkle
dips.
It with dew.
So yeah.
I will give you folks and babe for what's up, you bunch of weirdos. Is that cool?
I'd rather have folks and babe than what's up, you bunch of weirdos.
You know what? If you all want to vote on this, go to Get Weird PC on Twitter. We might have a poll on this. And then we also, it's going to get weird 369 at gmail.com. Folks and babe, versus what's up, you bunch of weirdos.
I might have to listen to one of our one of our old ones to hear how you did it.
By the way, Frank, we got a Christmas album coming up.
So you say.
So I say. Of the 26 episodes we did to prepare for the first one with Steve Canwell, still our highest our highest downloaded episode. People go, I don't want to. Actually, the guys we're going to have on here in a little bit said, I didn't want to listen to your first episode. I was like, fuck no, listen to the first episode. They all got better, and that one was great. Steve Canwell. Oh, they really did. I think, I don't know about you, man. I have a fucking blast doing this. And tonight we're going to make some sort of history. But before we do that and bring the guys up, how are we doing on time?
We're good.
We're good. What I always like to say is, what's the funniest or what's the thing that made you laugh this week, recently, whatever it was?
The thing that made me laugh this week was, son of a bitch. Give me a second here. I thought about it yesterday. I was laughing my ass off yesterday.
We only do this every week.
I know. I don't prepare.
You want me to tell mine?
Maybe.
What you think?
Maybe.
Because my story is 100% about you, and we've already talked about it, but it's got to be on the air.
Okay.
You mean to tell it, or are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So I had my heating and air looked at this week from one of my best friends, Eric Otto, and I will say his first name was J&M Mechanical. Call them at, if you want a proud sponsor of the show, J&M Mechanical. It's one of my best friends, Eric Otto. And we just got to talking about stuff. And whenever we get together, we laugh hysterically. And he brought up a story that I hadn't thought about in years. And it was somewhere you and I were playing the second version, not second version, but the second time we played with Whatever Will, where we kind of had the reunion or whatever. Reunion, I don't even know what we call it. We right. Played again for 3-4 years. And you were at a bar one night. And we had already gotten set up, and you and I were kind of sitting there. We had a drink, and Eric came by, and we had a drink. And some guy came by and had a drink. You all are having a great conversation.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Scott, I'm sorry to have to do this. We might have to have some kind of a process party on the patio. I don't know if you know this.
Do you have a video of that guy getting knocked out?
No.
Oh, damn, that would be great.
God damn it.
Please do it.
No, I don't have it.
Picture of me doing something stupid.
Did you hear me?
You just said shut up.
No, never mind.
Party on the patio.
I'm having problems. Go ahead. I know what you're talking about. Party on the damn patio.
So we weren't on the patio or Baxter 942. We're standing in the middle of the place.
Of the bar, yeah.
Of the bar. And you and this guy, you apparently knew this guy.
I don't say this. I did not know this guy. I thought this guy knew Donnie because while we are line checking, setting up, and the drummer gets behind his drums and plays his drums for about a minute just to make sure everything is working before he walks out. And the same with me. I was playing bass and just making sure it worked through the PA. Yeah. And the guy kept coming up to say something to Donnie, and I thought Donnie knew him. So okay. I was like, okay, and then I was like, what's up with this dude? He's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know who the fuck he is. And then he started in on me.
He did.
He was like, you big fat.
Oh, no, it's even worse.
Oh, I know.
Please allow me.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Because you all were talking for 2 minutes about Black Sabbath and other stuff, and you all were the best of friends. And then out of nowhere, this guy looks like a Hobbit version of
yeah.
Who was the manager for the Eagles?
Fucking Irving Azoff.
Yeah. Back in the 70s, he looked like, and he was short as shit. He looked like a Hobbit version.
Yeah.
But he got right in your face.
Yeah, he was like David Geffen was in the house or something.
When David Geffen wasn't gay and had hair, he said, he looked you right in the face and was like, you suck. Your whole family sucks. Your band sucks. And he started laying into you.
I know. He's like
saying those things, and he's like getting closer and closer. And Eric Otto and I are
but he's going, you big fat motherfucker. And he starts saying, fuck you, you big stupid fat ass. And I'm like, I'm looking at this guy.
You're being as nice as you can and taking it.
He's 6, and I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here, get lost.
He never had a chance. He kept doing that, and Eric,
I kept giving him a chance to get out.
Buddy,
I said, dude, you walk away.
Couldn't have had more patience than any human being I've ever had, because Eric Otto is on one side, I'm on the other side. We're both looking at each other, looking at you. Imagine that I'm trying to do the Zoom thing. I'm here, you're here, and Eric's on the other side. We're looking at each other. We're going like Rosanna Arquette in Pulp Fiction. We're going.
When they put the knife into her chest,
we're both going, and I literally looked at Eric, and in our minds, we're looking at each other going, if Frank doesn't punch this fucking guy, I'm gonna punch this guy. Yeah, I've never seen someone more, and he was nice as shit for about 25 minutes, and then he just walked up to you and started doing that shit.
Yeah.
And he was super aggressive.
He was.
And then
now let's also quantify this by saying it was about 7:30.
Yes,
and the crowd hasn't gotten there yet.
It was still light outside.
Yeah, right. The crowd hasn't come in yet.
No, there was 5 people in the whole place, and this guy's getting in Frank's face, and of course I'm standing there. That's my bandmate and my best friend. I'm gonna fuck this boy up, and I got my other friend on the other side that's gonna fuck this boy up if he tries to do anything.
Yeah.
And Frank's just standing there taking it, looks at him, and then lays the biggest right-handed uppercut on a motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. This dude, and everything became in slow motion. This dude, like the Matrix, lifted off the ground and fell backwards and landed on the ground.
Dude, that hurt so bad.
But I mean, I've never seen a person deserve to be punched in my life, and I've never seen a better punch and a better reaction. This dude went straight up like the Matrix, landed straight on his head. Blood starts coming out of his head. His keys, his wallet, his phone, the drink that he had in his hand, his sunglasses, and I think his mom's phone number fell out of his pockets around him. And Eric Otto,
it's a yard sale.
He said, that looks like a fucking hobo yard sale. And I start laughing. I'm like, Frank, we got to take you upstairs and lock you in the room because they're going to have to call the police.
Oh, my God.
And finally, after everything was worked out and the police came in, you were still upstairs. The police went out, and they're still putting this. The guy left on a stretcher.
Now, hold on.
As we're playing Rage Against the Machine.
The guy comes up. I'm sorry. The owner or the manager of the bar comes up and says, "All right, y'all got to start. We're going to."
Frank's hiding upstairs.
I'm hiding upstairs, and so we have to go start. And when we go and start, and I'm shaking because this guy is literally laying there not moving.
It could have been assault.
It could have been murder. I thought I killed him. Because I thought I killed the guy because he didn't move. And when I say he didn't move, he did not move for like 10 minutes. I didn't see him come to consciousness. So when we come down the steps to get on stage. I walk around the fucking yard sale, and we go up on stage, and so everybody in the band is looking at me like, man, this is
we might
crazy.
all go to jail,
keep. And I think what's his name, Nick, I think the bar manager's point was get on stage so they're not going to look and think, oh, the guy on stage beat the guy. Right. They're playing. So I'm on stage and we start to play, and literally like a half a song in, I see a fucking ambulance. We have a big window next to us. The ambulance pulls up on a Saturday night in the Highlands, busiest part of all of Louisville, and it's bumper to bumper all night anyway, just without all this. So this fucking guy comes up, blocks the street, literally in both directions, fucking lights flashing. And I look, and the fucking guys are
orange cones. Orange cones.
Those guys are wheeling in a stretcher, a fucking stretcher, and we're playing. And I look like Charlie Watts when he looks at somebody else in the Rolling Stones, just so disappointed, like.
I know the Charlie Watts look.
Sorry, that's terrible. It was
Have you ever heard that story?
I was so fucking scared that I was going to jail.
I thought you were going to jail too.
For murder.
Murder.
Seriously.
Chris Morrison, murder.
Hey, we've got
we got those guys in. All right, here we got some guests tonight. I've been we love all of our podcasts. We love all of our friends, all the people that have been on our podcast. But I've been so excited about this podcast because their podcast is one of the top rated podcasts. They've decided to come on and be on our podcast. Let's go ahead and bring those guys in.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead and bring them in.
But what about me?
Got something to promote?
Well, just my punching power.
You want to murder someone tonight?
My punching power.
You can punch the fuck out of a motherfucker. I've seen it.
I wish I had
seen
video
Mike
of
Tyson
that.
punch out? I wish I had a video of that too.
Oh man, that would be sweet.
I have a video of my dead best friend Zach, his car getting stolen from the Outlook. These guys, I found this podcast. I became a subscriber of this podcast, and you already hit them in.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm a big fan of the podcast because of their format. We'll talk about that in a minute. If you could think about maybe a 20-year younger version of Frank and I don't even know how they met each other. These guys are amazing. They've been nice enough. One of the top podcasts in America have allowed us to be on their podcast. We're on their podcast, and we're going to make a podcast baby tonight. We're either going to make history or a hysterectomy because it's going to be 4 guys on the same podcast. And I said it was going to be 4 guys sitting around a campfire telling stories.
No, they're not there anymore. So I think they had problems connecting. So let's just
imagine that. The motherfuckers are from Mississippi and have problems connecting.
Mississippi. Hey, are you banned from? Are you banned from even speaking to someone who lives in Mississippi?
We'll talk about that as well. Don't bring up too much detail.
I don't know any detail. That's the thing about
charged
it.
With murder.
Holy shit!
Oh, they're coming in. Here they come.
God,
that's great. They're in. Highly anticipated. They're coming in. So these guys, as they come in, started one of the coolest fucking concept I can think of.
Okay.
For a podcast. Now, the concept of their podcast, Rushmore, is Rushmore this, Rushmore that, and to be more
the Mount Rushmore of whatever topic,
whatever your Mount Rushmore is, and they would say, "What's your Mount Rushmore of comedy? What's your Mount Rushmore of titty scenes in a movie?
Ooh.
What's your Mount Rushmore of
girls kissing girls in mainstream movies?
What's your Mount Rushmore of people getting punched in the face at a bar and leaving on a stretcher?" That's what they do, and
come on,
and they've had we've had Steve Cantwell that's been on the show. We've had Steve Cantwell on the show. Steve Cantwell has been on their show twice. We've had Brad Tobler on our show, and he's also been on their show.
I think are they here? Are they here? I see them here.
They're again. It's Mississippi. They're not.
It's a Mason-Dixon line. It's having problems getting.
It's weird that
internet connection.
Kentucky has better internet than Mississippi. Come on, guys.
Like I said, it's the Mason-Dixon line. It's the Mason-Dixon line.
Take your time. We in. You ain't shit. You're still not here. But anyway, these guys have a podcast. It's one of the top-rated podcasts in the country, in the world, if you will. And they get some of the guests that we get.
South?
They get whatever it is. They get better guests than we get, and they're amazing. And I was honored that they would say yes to be on the podcast. And we've gone back and forth for months between their schedule and our schedule to have them on. And it's going to be a little bit weird that we have 4 people on at the same time. I'm really just pausing at this point to waiting for them to get on so I can give them their proper adieu, which I hate when people say. You ever notice you go to a meeting and someone goes, "And without further ado,
the
winner of the contest is Ma Jabroni."
Adieu, ADIEU.
They're all adieu. And I've actually had people in meetings go,
"Holy shit!"
And they were there for a second. They were there for a second. They were there for a second.
It's like they're putting the tip in.
The tip is in. The tip is in. All right, let's make sure we got both of you.
God, what's happening? You all right?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know what happened.
It's all right.
Hang on. I've talked to both of you online, and there's another guy that handles your Rushmore podcast Facebook Messenger. Where's that motherfucker? I want to who have I been talking to?
It's Pepper.
Oh, just what? You know what? I love you.
You think we have people? You think we have fucking people? No, dude.
Yeah, we have people too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Rushmore Podcast, Thomas Hitman McCormack, and Pepper. If you're not going, you better be going. Pepper Goins, Thomas McCormack. My gentlemen, thank you all for being on. It's going to get weird, and thank you for letting us be on Rushmore.
Yep.
Dude, absolutely, man. I've been super hyped for this. You know, when you first said something about us doing it, and I checked it out, I was like, man, just a couple of fucking old guys, like an old radio guy and all this shit. This can't be good. And I listened to a couple podcasts, and I was like, all right, they know what the fuck's going on. Like, they're not like Joe Biden old. They're like they're like
your uncle old.
Yeah, you guys are
your
the
crazy
cool,
cousin old.
Yeah, the uncle who buys you Coke old.
Yeah, the cool stoner uncles.
Whoa! People
Let's not go.
work. People, no, we don't talk about.
Well, I guess I would be.
I'm high right now. It's okay.
I'm stoner uncle.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. I want to get Pepper your new version of the national anthem. God damn, dude. I mean, I shouldn't say God damn to the national anthem, but it's like Richie Havens and shit, man.
Yeah, man. Francis Scott Key, I'll say it right now, he's a fucking bum. He can suck my fucking dick. The motherfucker was alive, what, in 1776? Song's been around for that long?
He was on a boat. You know,
It's not a good song.
He was held
Like
captive
Francis
on a
Scott
boat.
out of
That's
key.
how it got written, but...
And it's a thief.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
stole it.
I mean, we're in 2021. We have, like Kodak Black exists. We can't get Kodak Black to fucking write a new anthem?
You can't say that, man. You can't say that.
I prefer Bodak Yellow.
Yeah. That's the only musician I could come up with because I was like, we got Drake. I was like, no, Drake's Canadian. Fuck.
He is Canadian.
Who's another, musician?
Wiz Khalifa?
Thomas McCormack, my man.
Yeah.
You hide from the internet and hide from people. The only thing I know about you is Facebook and the Celtic bar. And in what fashion are you involved with the Celtic or Celtic? I don't know which way you say
It's
it
the
down
Celtic,
there.
the Boston Celtic.
No, it's Celtic.
Well, hold
I
on.
know that.
First off, don't disrespect the establishment. It is the world famous Celtic Irish pub in Pascagoula, Mississippi.
I played in Pascagoula twice.
You probably played at the Celtic.
Yeah, where'd you play?
It's someplace down on the river. It was called something like it was before Katrina. It was
Thunders.
Thunders. I played with Thunders, and
He's
it was
dead as fuck.
Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, that got it during the hurricane, didn't it?
Hey, I played in Mississippi twice. I don't want to talk about it right now.
It didn't take no.
No. It just closed a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, they rebuilt bigger and better after the hurricane.
No, they definitely did not. They made no adjustments. They did not clean any of the mold out. They just opened the fucking doors.
I remember it was so thick that I was walking on the wooden deck outside before I got in, and you could see my footprints in the dew, and I was like, "Oh, I got to get the fuck out of here." Anyway, it was a great time, fucking time.
Yeah, I live essentially across the street from that place.
Yeah. Holy shit! There's the one place down there that has like the big anchor, like sitting in the ground.
Yeah,
we got pulled over by the cops.
Hey,
pulled out of a
time.
That's your cop story in Mississippi.
Definitely
going to be a one-upper.
Pulled out of a tour bus.
You ever heard of a place called the Bay?
The Bay.
Where was that, Scott? Jackson.
It rhymes with Jackson.
Okay. Jackson's a horrible fucking
Jackson's
place.
a dangerous fucking place.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm never going back to the state of Mississippi. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, that's a good idea, dude.
Scott, you want to just bust it? You want to just lose it right
bust
now?
one for us, Scott.
Let's just say a gun was put to my head for something I didn't do, and I was acquitted of all charges.
And the
I was in a rock band. I was in a rock band and spent more money flying down and coming back than I made being at the fucking place. And I went to jail, and then it cost me $5,000.
And what's
but
the
I
one
was
provision?
acquitted.
Your one provision upon your release.
Don't go back to Mississippi. I've
Do
never
not
been
come
back to
back.
the state.
It's weird too, because like where we're at, Mississippi is wildly fucking different than Jackson.
Is
Like
it?
they could be two different countries.
Oh wow!
I got 2 words for you: Medgar Evers.
What is that?
Man,
God, you guys got to look at a history book occasionally.
he got real grim with the fucking Medgar. He got killed. He was a civil
Medgar
rights-
Evers was killed in Jackson. My lawyer was Medgar Evers' lawyer's son.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yes.
You had a celebrity.
I
lawyer?
didn't know. I didn't know at the time.
So
All right.
I did some work in Jackson one time, and I was listening to a podcast like 2 weeks later, and they were talking about a crime that happened in Jackson, Mississippi, and I was like, oh, fancy that. And they said a car was stolen from a Target, and this is the address of the Target. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That is the Target across the street from the hotel we stayed at. That's pretty cool. And then the car was stolen by a man. And then the man realized that there was a child in the car. And instead of doing the right thing, he set the fucking car on fire.
With the kid?
Wow.
With the kid in it. And that was the crime. And I don't remember how it was resolved, but I was like, oh, fuck, well, I'm never going to Jackson. Also, in that hotel parking lot, my friend who I was up there doing work with, his truck got robbed, and they stole a bag, an AR-15 pistol, another
But
pistol.
that's not a pistol.
AR-15 pistol?
No, that
Yes, I was like,
it's a
that's
designation.
It's a
It's like a
designation.
short barrel thing. It's all
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
I'm with you, Tom.
All right.
But yeah, so
Go, Tom.
don't never go to
the
Jackson. Anybody
moral of the story: don't fucking go to Fuck Kid Rock and his song "Jackson, Mississippi." I worked at the radio. I worked at a radio station. We're doing like a music meeting, and everyone knew the story about what happened in Jackson because I was working at a radio station. I had to fucking tell them, "Hey, man, I might have to take a flight to Jackson to go to an arraignment or a trial or something." So I had to tell the
Or a
boss
sentencing.
Or sentencing.
Yeah.
It could have 30 years. But I did nothing wrong, and it never even got that far. But I had to go down for one thing, and they said they brought me in the whole radio station, all my employees, the interns, everybody sitting around, and they all had this shit set up, and I had no idea. And they're like, "Here's the Bob Ritchie." Bob Ritchie. He likes to be called Bob. He's like, "Bob called. Wants you to hear this song. Which song on this album should you put on the air?" And the first thing he put was Jackson, Mississippi. And they all were in on the joke, and I wasn't. I was like, "You motherfuckers." And I just fucking got out of my chair. I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. 30 years over my head.
It
Sons of bitches.
It took him at least 15 years to tell me what the story was. That's how fucked up it was. Freaked up. What am I talking about?
We're not on radio, dude.
Yeah, what are we doing?
It's
for a second
2021.
there. For a second
Hey,
there. Well,
if
Scott
you're
All right,
reminds
now
me.
here's some Kid Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kid Rock wrote the song about me. He can go fuck himself on 100.5 The Fox.
Rip the knobs off.
Ripped him right off. All right. So the guys from Rushmore, Thomas McCormack, Pepper Goins, guys, thank you all so much for being on here. You all said this is the first time anyone's asked you all to be on a podcast together.
Well, no, this is the first time that Thomas has volunteered to do a guest podcast with me.
Yeah,
Oh.
we've done one together. We've done Red Egg together. We've done a couple together.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
fuck you
few and
guys.
far
Frank,
between.
hang on.
But
This ain't history.
But you were the first ones that I told him I would like us to do it together,
Yes.
not just him come on.
Right on.
I wanted both of you or neither one of you. How about that?
You know what? More people should think that way.
I
You
agree.
know what? Yeah. I mean,
Well,
and go ahead, Frank.
When he first suggested this and talked about this, that you all wanted, that talked about doing this thing, I thought, man, they're going to cram us. They're going to spend fucking an hour and 15 minutes just trashing us, making old man jokes and shit. And I'm like, I got to prepare for this, man. I got to go through comedy calisthenics. I got to fucking go watch some Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy movies. And
All right, now you're making
yeah.
old
And then
guy.
you're making 70s comedy
Yeah, you're making
references?
old joke on yourself, dude.
Settle down, Brian
Stuff in
Fox.
the stuff when the Bill Cosby came on the Rushmore and told you to go fuck yourself when you're coking the pound. Fuck you.
Settle down there, Brian Fox.
I don't know who that is.
No, Scott, not him. Not you.
I know exactly who he's talking about. That's a local joke on you, Pepper. Okay. All right, go ahead, Frank.
Hey, thanks for giving all that away, Scott. God damn. Hey, I didn't know if you guys heard it, but Frank was digging on you on the podcast last night.
Brian Fox. I'm going to tag him in the post of this video.
Fuck that. So anyway, tell me about you guys. Tell me about how you guys got this going and why you did it.
You two, why did you get together?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I always get it wrong, apparently. I always start telling the story, and in the middle of it, you're like, no, that's not what fucking happens. You fucking tell me.
No. Okay.
All right, so when did y'all meet?
Let me explain what he means by that.
How long have you known each other? Let's go back to that.
I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. So I don't know. I don't remember how we met, really. I don't remember why we started doing a podcast.
We drink a lot, and at that time especially, we were drinking a lot. So.
Right.
But I do know that we recorded the first couple. We're actually, weirdly enough, 3 years later, at my brother's different home right now, recording on his kitchen table. But we recorded the first one on an iPhone 4 on my brother's kitchen table at the time at a different place.
Wow.
And I was staying with my brother.
I'm horny right now.
I was staying with my brother then, and I was asleep on the couch, and I was watching like a fight companion or some shit on YouTube, a Joe Rogan thing.
Right.
And I had a dream that Bert Kreischer and Eddie Bravo were doing the Rushmore podcast. They were doing their top 4 and shit like that. And I woke up and I was like, let me steal that from myself. And I called him, told him about that. Then we just fucking recorded one about superheroes. We argued about the Tick for like 45 minutes. Who he's never heard. And it worked out. But the only reason he says, I always say like, oh, you told this story wrong, is because we're on some other podcast and they were like, how'd y'all start? And Pepper's like, so I had a dream. And fucking, I'm like, wait a minute.
That's my story.
I'm pretty sure that happened to me.
Right.
So I was dreaming one time.
And
I got to do this since we're both sharing podcasts here. I want to ask my podcast partner.
Well, hold
Frank,
on. They haven't answered the other question.
What's the other one?
I mean, just the whole. How did you meet? How did this start?
Oh, legitimately, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Wow.
I mean, we probably, if I had to guess, knowing the people that we know mutually, we were probably at the bar, the world famous Celtic Irish pub in Pascagoula, Mississippi, the #1 bar in South Mississippi by far. We were probably at the bar, and some of our mutual friends were like, "Hey, you guys are very similar. You should talk to each other." And I don't know, who knows. I remember I tried to kiss you one time.
That was
I've kissed Frank many times.
It's like an arranged. It was like an arranged marriage.
Right.
Yeah, that's when we were already friends. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings watching fights.
Was that the cocaine night, or was that a different night?
I don't know.
There's been
cocaine night.
There's a few of those.
But no, I was. We were in the parking lot getting ready to leave. It was him and his wife and me and my ex-girlfriend, and he was just dead set he wanted to fucking kiss me on the mouth, and I had him like at arm's length by the throat, and he's like, "I'm gonna kiss you." So he's just trying to get to me, and we get in the car, and my girlfriend at the time's like, "That was so funny that he was like acting like he wanted to kiss you so bad." I was like, "No. There was no joking going on."
He wanted to kiss
He was drunk and had made up his mind we were gonna make out that night.
Oh,
Pepper was putting a tongue in somebody's mouth, and it was yours.
I was like, no, I was.
Now,
like, is that homophobic?
And it's funny that you asked that. I know why I always wanted to do a podcast, a radio guy. I was kicked off the radio when the iHeart and the Clear Channel shit happened. Yeah. And I'm always like, I think I got something to offer if I have the right partner. And Frank's the guy.
You're just needy.
I actually have a needle in my arm. Oh, needy.
You're needy. You need the,
not needle. Needy. Okay, I got you.
You need the attention. Now we've talked about this.
I need the attention.
I mean, this isn't anything we haven't talked about.
I just want all of you to like me. Please like me.
He just wants the attention.
Frank, why did you want to do a podcast? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
I didn't.
Still don't.
You asked me to do it with you.
Forced to be here.
Yeah, I mean, and I know you're so stupid tech savvy that you'd never be able to get past the whole doing it on your iPhone section of the program.
I got this working.
I know, but with some, a lot of guidance. No, but yeah, I didn't ever want to. I thought about it, but I was going to do one called Mike Huckabee's Bass.
Yeah.
Because he's a terrible because he's a bass player, first off, and he's
Yeah.
such an asshole guy. And he's got, every time you see him on TV, he's got a million different bass guitars, and he's playing with Ted Nugent on the fucking, on Christian broadcast or wherever the fuck. And he's playing with, and he played with the guy from Def Leppard, and I'm like, what are these people playing with this guy for? And he's got a different bass in every one. So my podcast was going to be interview different famous bass players, and it's called Mike Huckabee's Bass. And
That's fucking genius.
It is, but I got a message.
Rushmore.
I got a message from Mike Huckabee's Twitter site that said that there was going to be an issue because I had a Twitter handle page that was called Mike Huckabee's Bass, and they're like,
They're not going to do shit.
You can't have a podcast, and I'm like, well, okay. So
Hey, you can also tell them to shut the fuck up. 'Cause you can do whatever you want to. This is America.
I understand that now. That's when I was young, like 2 years ago.
Hey, Ted Nugent has COVID. Rest in peace.
Oh God,
he's not dead. Ted Nugent, baby. I used to run around as a kid.
I don't know anything about Mike Huckabee's politics. I think he's a Republican, but I love the guy.
His daughter was the fucking.
I like an asshole.
Sarah, right?
Yeah, she was the spokesman for the White House. You know, the one with the fucked up eyes.
Sarah.
Yeah, she was like an extra on the Gilmore Girls.
Was that the thick one?
What was she in Wilmington for?
No,
what was that
God,
stupid
yeah.
show in
That's the one with the
Wilmington?
big old titties.
Titties. Titties.
But I mean, I don't like. I am politically retarded. I don't pay attention to anything. But I Mike Huckabee. I mean, because he plays bass, I play bass.
That's a great name.
So that's a door right
It's a great
there.
name.
But
I play
he
bass.
looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike.
He looks
Huckabee.
what?
He looks like a really nice guy. He looks like a fun guy to hang out
Looks
with.
like he bird
You're
watched.
so
I mean, I don't know
full of
anything of. No, I'm
Or
dead serious. I don't know
ornithologist.
anything about his politics. I
with you,
really, I
Tom.
think he's a Republican.
Bird watcher.
Yeah, he looks like a bird watcher. I don't
He's an
fucking know why.
ornithologist.
Well, regardless of what political affiliation is, he's an idiot.
Yeah, I tell you.
All bass players are idiots.
I know.
Someone said Def Leppard. I think it was Frank. I took my sister backstage to see Def Leppard. She goes, "If I meet the drummer, which one of his hands do I shake?"
It's
I
the
went,
only one.
The fucking one he has, Lee Ray. What are you doing? You shake the fucking hand he's got. By the way, it's his right hand, so you reach out your right hand. But she said, "Which one do I shake?" I'm like,
His right hand is the one that's gone.
shake the nub. What do you
No.
do?
You know, a few years ago, he was married, and he got arrested for beating his wife. He was slapping his wife.
Yeah.
Hold on, listen, Scott, shut up. He was slapping her in the airport. He was pinned her against the wall with his nub, and he was slapping her in the face.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, I heard he was going to fight Jake Paul next.
Is it MMA or is it boxing? That's what we gotta
It's YouTube. Who was the guy that Jake knocked out? Was it Nate Robinson?
Yeah.
That was the NBA story. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was fucking.
Nate,
great.
oh yeah, and then he
5'6" NBA
God
star.
damn.
5'6" NBA star.
And then he just knocked out Ben Askren and broke my goddamn heart.
Yeah.
Oh man, people. It was 100. It was the money line was 140 on that
Yeah.
for Ben. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? He's gonna knock him out in the first round,
Yeah,
and he
didn't think
knocked
that
him
was
out in
gonna be
like
close
6 seconds.
At any point.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here?
All
Like,
right,
I
we got
understand
the-
being hopeful, but come on.
We got Pepper Goins. We got Thomas McCormack from Rushmore, the podcast. We thank you guys for being on here. And I think it would be only appropriate if we start. We've already started shit. I didn't realize we were going to go 20 minutes or 40 minutes this long with that. Are you putting on gloves right now, Pepper? What are
Yeah,
you
I
doing?
forgot. I forgot we have.
Oh,
a
he's not
glove
putting on
sponsor.
gloves. He's putting on
He's training.
gloves.
You don't
training.
look that tough when you both have matching blue windscreens.
Scott, he's training. Just let him go. He's training.
All right, he's training. All
We were
right.
talking about Jake Paul. He got fucking.
Oh, I forgot. We have a glove sponsor.
Yeah, we got worked
Lyle
out.
Tools. Everybody go get them.
LISLE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And by the way, you are wearing the jersey of my favorite baseball team of all time. My
Hey, we just
favorite
won,
number.
baby boy.
Every single jersey I have is number 42 for two reasons. Dale Murphy and Ronnie Lott from San Francisco. Braves, 49ers. That's my dude. 42 is my number. Thank you for wearing that.
Braves got some mojo this year, don't they?
They do. They got a chance. I don't know a single player on the team, but they got
They
a
don't
chance.
have to. They've got
Ian
great-
Anderson just got his first. I think his
From
first
Jethro
win.
Tull?
Man, they're
Yeah.
great. Shut up,
All
Scott.
right. I'm sorry. All right, let's just try to move this on. Thank you guys for being on here. We have to do at least a couple Rushmores.
Okay.
And we're going to do, I want you all to do a Rushmore, and we're going to judge you on your Rushmores. And then we're going to do a Rushmore, and they're both that have been on your podcast. By the way, Rushmore Podcast, go get it, subscribe. I have very few podcasts in my phone, and Rushmore is one of them.
It's good. Thank you.
Now, are we going to judge each other, or are we just letting them give their answers?
They're going to give their answers, and we're going to judge them.
But why are we judging their answers?
No, judges. We
Well,
want to be
it's more
judged.
fun.
It's more
We're
fun.
fucking
Judge us.
dicks. I like being a dick. He's got a Yingling in his fucking hand with a glove on, wearing a Brave shirt. The other guy's barely even talking. All right, Rushmore. For us, Frank and I are going to go off one of your first podcasts. Frank and I get a Rushmore, and you judge our answers.
Okay.
Okay.
Rushmore, Frank, you and I, serial killers. You're 4 Rushmore serial killers.
Moi.
I just said Frank.
I know.
We lost Frank's audio.
I'm just being dramatic. You did?
I did. We got you.
You got me now?
He's being funny. We got you. Oh,
Yeah,
you
no,
muted.
no.
You muted yourself, Frank, on your one line.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
It cut out for a
No,
second.
he's
Okay.
back muted. There we go.
For me,
Serial killer Rushmore.
serial killer, Zodiac, Ted Bundy.
See, we even take notes.
Jack the Ripper.
See, I disagree with that.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what you think. This is
Go
me.
suck a dick.
Jack the Ripper and Andre Chikatilo. He was
Chikatilo?
Chikatilo. He was Russian. Probably those 4. If I had to pick my personal favorites, they're different. But who do I think is the Mount Rushmore of serial killers? It's those 4,
Okay.
All right.
with the emphasis on Zodiac. You
Or
can
wait
judge
till-
all you want, whenever.
You all
Do
said it on your podcast, Rushmore.
Do it.
Okay. Ted Bundy, in my opinion, is a weak as fuck answer.
Fuck him. He's good
is-
looking. He could get any pussy he wants. He could kill anyone he wants.
That's all he had was fucking looks.
Pussy
His numbers
answer.
is fucking bullshit ass numbers. I don't like him.
He
Chikatilo.
escaped from
that's-
jail twice. He wasn't
True.
just bullshit.
True.
And he escaped from jail to kill bitches
As
twice.
a jail escapist, I respect him much more as a jail escapist than a
He
bitch
jumped
killer.
out a window. How is that an
It
escapist?
wasn't that high. It was like
He
17
did.
feet.
He did it
jumped
twice,
out a
though.
window.
Now,
He did
okay.
it twice. So after the first one, they didn't go like, all right, now we're gonna lock you the fuck down. After the first
Right.
one, they're like, you get back in there, you handsome
Fucking
rascal.
You missed
But
your
we'll put
bet.
you on the second
You good
floor.
Look,
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. You look so good. Get your butt back in
Trick
there.
me once. Come
I'll
on,
bring you a-
man.
All right,
I'll
so
bring
keep,
you a butter
keep on.
sandwich.
Let's hear some more.
Chikatilo's a really good one. That's a deep cut. A lot of people don't know that.
I'm a
Chikatilo
creepy-
was a weird motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm a weird motherfucker too. So
I'm gonna wait to critique any more until Scott gives his. Do you got any critiques, Thomas? Silent
Wait,
Tommy.
let
over
me-
here?
let me
silent
tell-
one.
let me-
Oh
let-
great, oh great, Gene Rayburn's bedpan. You.
I'm starting to feel like Frank Green's a fucking serial killer.
Oh, I'm sure
I've
he's
been
killed a few.
accused. I've been accused of that before.
Don't go to his backyard. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right. You all talked about this. The first one, the creepiest motherfucker in the world is BTK.
Scott.
He is
He is
got
not.
to be top fucking 10. BTK. That fucking guy, he was a dog catcher. he would hunt.
He was a
hunted.
civil servant.
He literally hunted people down and would follow them around and then would break in their house and then bind, torture, kill them, and then fuck with the police. But that stupid motherfucker didn't understand how a floppy disk worked.
Yeah,
He was
that's
in
my
a-
favorite getting caught story. It's like, hey, if I send you guys this floppy disk, will you be able to trace it? And the police are like,
Sure, no problem at all. We don't know anything
no,
about that.
We wouldn't be able to
Mr.
trace that
Mr.
at all.
Serial killer.
For the record, Scott, he was a code enforcer. Things like your grass is too tall.
That's even more bitch than being a dog catcher. I love that.
But go look it up, buddy. He was a dog catcher too.
Scott, he was a code enforcer. That's why he crept around these things.
We
This is
fight
gonna
like
be
this
the
all the
Scott's
time,
end of their
guys.
podcast.
Thomas, let me
Who's
ask
right?
you all this on the Rushmore podcast.
You're always wrong.
I'm usually wrong. Who's usually wrong and who's usually right, and who's the guy of reason?
Well, it doesn't really matter because like our number one rule from the first episode of Rushmore is there's no fact checking. So we just make shit up. We're always right.
And
We
I'm
can't
good
fact check.
then.
Yeah,
Right.
there's no fact checking on our
You're
show.
good.
Okay.
I did just hear that Jeff Garland, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Jeff Garland, he lived on the same street as John Wayne Gacy at the same time the shit was going down.
It's not who we're talking about.
I know that.
Hope
You're
Drummers.
talking about
Okay.
BTK. I'm aware. But Jeff Garland had two best friends that were both abducted and got away from John Wayne Gacy.
And they both hated the dogs that were barking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone get that joke? Just me?
No.
Okay. I'm really too much in this here. All right, Gary Ridgway.
Ooh, now we're talking about some fucking numbers.
See, dog barking
Got some numbers on this. This motherfucker, if there was an NBA all-star of serial killers, it is Gary Ridgway, the Green
Motherfucker almost
River
made
Killer.
hookers extinct on the fucking West Coast.
He took care of the prostitution problem in the Seattle, Tacoma area.
That's a good one. How did he get caught again?
His truck. Finally, somebody had the serial,
That's
the
right.
license plate, and then he worked at some place in the paint, and he was a painter of
Yeah.
trucks or whatever, and it was DNA from paint chips.
That's fucking crazy.
DNA and paint chips, and it took him how many years to catch that guy, and how many people did he kill?
Dude,
I mean, that's fucking numbers, son.
yeah, he fucking and he was good, man. Like as far as like not getting caught and not being stupid, he was. I mean, obviously not good to kill hookers and shit, but he was very good at what he did. I gotta respect that.
The next one I have is the Russian guy that Frank was talking about. I can't think of his name.
Chikatilo.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's crazy. And then part of me wants to leave one spot for a woman for diversity reasons.
Okay. What about a black?
That's still diversity. What about a Jew?
What about
That's
the
diversity. You know what? That's funny. You ever heard of a Jew serial killer? No. All right, let's move on. Now, there is.
That's a good point.
If we can, I'm not being racist. I'm being funny. Everything's satire. But there was one guy that I saw a documentary on that he had planned to be a serial killer. So he would fly to different cities and plant shit in different cities. And then he would wait a year and then go get the shit he planted and kill people.
The Alaskan guy?
I think it is. What? Not Steve Cantwell. Not Steve Cantwell. I'm pretty sure Steve Cantwell has
we don't
shot a few
know.
people.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Do
It's
we?
so he had a job
Do
as a
we-
serial
do we
killer
know?
for 12 years.
He hasn't been caught yet.
What witness protection program says you're good to go, man. You're out. What do you mean I'm out? I'm out. The guy's still on parole.
Yeah.
But that one guy, I think it was the Alaskan guy, and he would fly around the country, and he had planted in different cities, and he would just go, I got my shit here. There's no DNA. No one's ever going to know where I'm from and went and killed people just to kill people.
Kill kits.
Wow.
And he ended up
You
getting
came up with
pinched.
that name really quick, Pep.
Well, I know. I'm very aware of this guy. The only reason he got caught was because he tried to grab a chick at a coffee shop, and they got the whole thing on camera. And then this dumb motherfucker started texting her boyfriend like ransom notes and shit, and that's how he got caught.
God damn.
If he
Didn't
wouldn't
you
have
learn
done
anything
that,
from Ted Bundy?
yeah, I mean, if he wouldn't have got sloppy there at the end, I mean, the way he was operating and the way everything was going, he would have probably been another Gary Ridgway, if not more. He was really fucking good.
All right. You got your my 4 and Frank's 4.
By the way, I was going to find my Seattle Post Intelligencer paper that I got in Seattle when they caught him.
Oh wow.
He actually has the paper. I've seen it. When
I
Gary
realize-
Ridgway got caught,
I
he
was
was recording his album.
I was leaving Seattle in February or late January, and on the fucking day after they caught him.
That was 2012.
2002, 2001,
Oh, okay.
2002. Sorry.
I think the Alaskan guy would have been. Who cares?
You guys were 12. So let's go on. So close. I think I'm close. So you heard Frank's, you heard mine. Judge, who had the better list?
I'm going to go with Frank.
Fuck you, Thomas.
Just because I feel like he's capable of coming here and killing me.
It's true. No, there's nothing. There's no laughing matter there, Scott. It's true.
There we go.
I mean, it's not. It's funny, but it's not funny, Scott.
He also
you know what
has
I mean?
he has the newspaper article. This is the guy that knows the serial killers.
Pepper,
I got to go with Scott.
my man.
Be honest, man.
You know, it's funny that you're sitting on my side. I'm gonna move over here.
Hey, Scott, what was the rest of your four?
What the rest of my what?
Your four besides Gary Ridgeway.
Oh, the Russian guy. We picked the same guy, the Russian guy.
Andre
Yeah,
Chikatilo.
and then I had the one guy that from Alaska that would like go plant kill kits around the country.
Yeah,
just
What
so
the fuck was his name?
I don't fucking know.
God damn, that's gonna kill me.
I know. All right, so it's 1-1 on this side. Now let's go back over to the Rushmore side. Don't forget Rushmore Podcast. I want to thank Thomas McCormack, Pepper Goins for being on the show with us. It's gonna get weird is the name of the podcast. If you want to be on the show, it's gonna weird. 369@gmail.com. We're on every platform, and so are they. Rushmore, and they are huge. What is do you all actually even know what your rating is? I mean, for the fact that you're in my fucking phone, that means something. That I found it and I subscribed. I don't know how to find our rating. Do you know what your ranking is?
Oh no fucking clue. I know we've charted in Argentina a couple times.
I don't know.
we got like Slovakia, and I was like, what the fuck?
I will say this. I'm a little proud of this. We did get banned from YouTube in like 5 different countries last week.
Yeah. Can you name the countries?
Yeah,
there were some pretty sick ass.
They were
countries.
all the countries like we're glad to be banned in.
Uzbekistan,
email real quick.
Sakistan,
better than that.
Touch
Yeah,
my Cockistan.
Let me see if I can find that fucking email.
I remember one was North Korea.
Yep.
For sure.
I'm sure. Saw the movie. Didn't work out well.
Was that Dictator? I
Yes.
think I watched that movie.
Dictator. Isn't that the
that was
new
awesome.
Larry the Cable Guy? Oh, no, yeah. My name is Dictator.
Oh damn, that was pretty good. I didn't think.
Do that-
Yeah.
It's not Larry the
Fucking-
Cable Guy. It's the other
You
guy.
fucking quick draw Scott over here with the fucking
Old.
wordplay.
Old. He said he wound up twice on it. Had to swing like
I'm
swinging.
Ron White.
Like
Ron
YouTube-
White.
YouTube
swing.
blocked us in Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Syria.
You know what? Sorry, I'm taking a drink of my soda.
Good for them.
Yeah,
You know what?
those
Good
people.
good for you guys.
Thank
That's I hope to be the same way.
Yeah.
I really do. Have you all been able to monetize this in any way?
Yeah.
We started. We did 26 episodes.
Look at that.
Go ahead and get the plug real quick there,
Hey,
Pepper.
give it. Come on, let's hear it.
Okay, guys, if you need specialty automotive tools, there is no other place you should be shopping than Lyle Tools. Lyle Tools has the best specialty automotive tools on the market. And listen, go follow them on Twitter at Lyle Corp. Don't expect a lot of fancy shit. What you're going to get from them is pictures of tools and descriptions. And that's it. And that's all you need.
That's it.
That's really all you need.
And that's all you need.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas McCormack, Pepper Goins, Rushmore Podcast. Go to their podcast, get everything you need, and don't forget to subscribe to the weird gloves that he's wearing because that's how they monetize the shit. And we're going to take a quick break and hear from our one sponsor.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host the Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
All right, we're back.
We're back. Pepper Goins and Thomas McCormack, Rushmore Podcast. If you want to be a sponsor of It's Gonna Get Weird, hit us up. It's Gonna Get Weird 369@gmail.com.
Show them
You
that
can hit
fist
us
again.
up. What?
Show them that fist again, Pepper. Palpable.
Oh yeah, and Pepper, what are you promoting? Let's go ahead and get that back on there too.
Lyle Tools. If you want custom automotive tools or specialty automotive tools, check out Lyle Tools. You ever seen a fuse puller? I've never seen one. I always used needle nose pliers. They have specialty tools for
nice.
And when your dick gets so fucking hard from promo code Rushmore at BlueChew.com, and you can't grab a hold of that motherfucker because the Blue Chew's got you so hard, you're going to need a pair of Lyle gloves.
I got a whole nother story about that with Frank.
Man, that's
I'm not going to say on the air.
Good. That's hot though. That's a hot promo.
Thank you.
I've got a boner
All right,
now.
all right. Let's talk about the last fight you were in, Pepper. We were just talking off the air before we came back about the thing we heard at the top of the podcast was Scott and I were discussing, and we kind of glanced over it with the Rushmore guys. So tell me about the last time you got in a fight.
So this was 2000, probably 14 or 15. My across the street neighbor is ever at my house watching UFC fights. My mother is there, and so is my wife and two children.
What's up, mama?
So he told his wife apparently that he was going, and I guess he had plans to go out of town with his friends to Florida and hang out for the weekend. And
Of all places.
that ended up not happening because I think his friends knew him and decided that would be a bad idea because he's a fucking dickhead. Mm-hmm. So he came over to my house with a bottle of Jaeger, the big one, and then he proceeded to basically drink the entire thing. And, while he was at my house, everything was fine. And then I walked him back home, which is literally across the street. That's how
You're a nice guy.
Yeah. And as a nice guy, when he told me I'm going to drive to Mobile, which is like 30 minutes away, I was like, no, you're not. Because you just drank an entire fucking bottle of Jaeger at my house. You're not going to fucking drive 30 minutes away. Also, the motherfucker has a pending murder charge for a DUI accident where he killed his best friend.
Fuck.
So knowing that, I'm definitely, it's like, you're not good at this. You're not good at drunk driving, so you're going to stay at home.
Or murder.
Yeah. I've never even heard of anybody getting a murder charge. He got a murder charge. It was like second degree or some shit. So
Terrible driver. Driver.
I took his keys, and I was like, you're not doing this. I actually grabbed his keys, and I threw them in the woods. And
Good
then,
man.
Well, he must have been habitual first off, and he must have had a super high, like a triple the limit. A blood alcohol level if they charge you murder.
Well, wasn't it that he killed somebody riding with him, wasn't it?
He killed a passenger.
Yeah,
He was
passenger
driving.
in his vehicle.
And I
damn.
mean, it's a sad story. I mean,
Yeah.
like he killed his
course.
best friend. But I mean, yeah, I've never heard of anybody doing that and getting a fucking. And I looked at the document because he was trying to ask me like, why is this murder? And I was like,
Document.
I don't
Weird
know,
thing
man.
to show your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extenuating
Check
circumstances.
this out.
We
Can I come
had
watch the fights?
we had a weird relationship.
Before we fight, can I check your
All
document?
right, so you walking back over to the compound.
Walking back over to his house, I threw his keys in the woods. He didn't like that. So we started having words, going back and forth. And I'll be honest now. Now that the statute of limitations has passed, I think, I'll say this. We started having words, and I ended up getting so frustrated. I had a beer bottle in my hand, and I threw it at his head. And he ducked it, and it hit his house and exploded. And then that was when he was like, okay, well, we're fighting now. So he ran at me, and then I was like, all right. So physical description of this guy. Probably 5'9" and like 130 pounds.
Oh,
So
that's
just a-
me.
Yeah, a
What
string
was
bean.
me?
A string bean. So everything that I say past this, like, don't think it's impressive because
Right.
at the time I was probably like 190. It's like it's not impressive where a guy who weighs 190 is going to do this to a guy who weighs 130. So he was running at me, and I just stopped him in his tracks, took him down, and somehow I went from mount position to a rear naked choke where he was on top of me, and I put him to sleep, and then I dumped him off me, and I was like, all right, buddy, we got to go inside. And he
Baby
wouldn't
talking
wake
to
up.
him now?
Yeah.
Like, hey, man.
I was like, all right, buddy, we got to go inside. I'm shaking him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man, wake up. He would not wake up. And I was like, oh, fuck. He was breathing. I knew he was breathing, so he wasn't dead. So I ran across the street and got my wife, and I was like, we have to carry him into his house so he's not just asleep in his gravel driveway. And
what if his house key was in the fucking woods?
maybe I put him to sleep. Well, his house.
What if his house goes on fire?
Now, did you say he was married?
No, he was married.
Pepper.
His wife was out of town.
Okay.
Gotcha.
No, sorry about that.
So we grab his feet and his hands, and we start taking him inside. Then he gets aroused and he starts waking up.
He
And so
wasn't
we put
a
him back
hammock
down.
No longer.
Hold on. Define aroused.
I mean, he just started like waking up and
BlueChew.com.
making
Okay. I was
making
like,
noise.
I was like,
stuff.
You were
And-
thinking something different.
yeah.
I was like, okay, well maybe now that he's awake, he can walk himself inside. So I'm
Like
like, all
you've
right,
never
buddy, let's
sucked a
go.
drunk guy's
No, hang
dick.
on. Let me set the story
Like
again real
Scott,
quick.
like you've never sucked a drunk guy's dick.
Like
Hey,
you've
it
never
wasn't by
raped him.
choice. It wasn't by choice.
All right.
But so let me set the story again. So you're walking a guy with you and your wife carrying a guy you just
They carried
knocked
him in.
out,
Hammock style.
and he was a hammock.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Pepper. Go ahead.
So
Thomas,
he's-
just sit there and say nothing.
I've heard the story. I'm just letting him go through it.
So he starts waking up, and I'm like, all right, buddy, let's go inside, man. It's late. You've had a long night already. Let's go ahead and go inside. And then he was resisting all this shit. So I was like, all right. So we start picking up again, and then he starts moving again. And then out of fucking nowhere, like he just jumps up, fully awake. And he said, "You thought I was asleep, motherfucker," and then throws the wildest overhand.
What kind
right
of
at my
Bruce
head.
Willis shit is that to say?
I don't know. He said, "You thought I was asleep, motherfucker," and then threw the wildest overhand right. And I was like, "Okay, I guess we're fighting again." So I took him down again, and I was on top of him in mount position, like holding his wrists. And I was
Mount
like, "You need
Rainier."
to-" Yeah, Mount Rushmore. And I was like, all right, you need to go inside. And he was like, no. And I was like, I'm not gonna let you go until we both agree that you're gonna go inside. And he was like, no. And then one of his hands got loose and like hit me. And I was like, all right, I've been exceedingly nice through this entire situation. I
Sounds
never
like
hit him.
Besides the murder and hammock part.
Yeah. Well, I choked him out. That's like that's the nicest thing you can do to
It's
somebody who's
humane.
trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So the only strike that I threw in the entire fight was I did headbutt him in the nose.
Threw a bottle at his head.
Okay. Well, that didn't land though. It doesn't count.
When he swung at you.
No. I had him on the ground. I was on top of him. I was sitting on his belly, and I had both of his hands in my hands.
Sounds so peaceful.
Got it.
And so I had his wrist pinned to the ground, and then I headbutted him after he hit me one time. And then broke his nose. His nose started bleeding very bad. And then sometime after that, he finally... No, I think I choked him out again. I know I choked him out again. But, after I choked him out the second time, me and my wife were like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. And we
Good
went
wife.
back... Yeah, she's a good wife. We went back over to check on him again because he had gotten up and was like kind of moving around.
Did you
And
just
then-
say choke on him again?
No, we went to check on him.
Oh, check.
Yeah. No, I choked him twice.
Hey, we gotta go choke.
I'm gonna go
him
choke
again.
on this motherfucker one
No,
more time.
I choked him twice. But he woke up again. We went back over to check on him to try to be like, hey man, is everything good? Like you don't have your car keys, so don't even think about that. But he started talking about a gun, and then he went in his house. And I turned to my wife, and I was like, oh shit, he's about to fucking shoot us. So we ran across the street, and that's when we called the cops. We weren't gonna call the cops, but the cop went over and talked to him, and came over and talked to us. And they're like, listen, man, as long as he's, like, not being a fucking idiot or a danger to himself, we're just going to, leave it be. He is
Hammock him to
obviously...
bed.
Yeah,
Hammock him
he's
to
obviously too drunk to do anything. And then, like, right on cue, he starts, like, breaking shit in his carport and doing all kinds of wild shit. And he's like, fuck. So then he calls the ambulance. The ambulance comes, picks him up, and they take him to the hospital because of his broken nose. So next morning, I get a text from him. And he's like, hey, can you come pick me up from the hospital? I don't have a ride. And I'm like, phew. So weird person to ask, you know? The morning after.
I'm the one that
Yeah.
put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't like this situation.
He's probably like, listen, one of our neighbors beat the shit out of me last
Yeah.
night. We need to go kill that motherfucker.
I don't know who it was.
So he ended up he said he walked to his aunt's house, who I guess was close to the hospital, And he was like, this is the address that I'm at. I just need you to come pick me up and take me home. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this whole situation. So
this is not good. This is not good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's somebody in my wife's family who is he's got a little bit of a gangster side to him.
He's similar to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
They're
called
friends.
him up. I was like, get your pistol. You're going to ride with me to go pick this guy up. I don't like this.
Right.
So we get to the house, and I told the family member, I was like, we're not going to stop. We're going to pass by the house just to scope it out. And if everything's cool, we're going to come by and pick him up. We passed by the house, and he's like, oh, fuck no, don't stop at this house. I was like, why not? He was like, that house, that's like a known gang member in the area. I know this fucking guy. He's very dangerous. We're not, like, this is a bad
Holy
situation.
shit.
And there was a guy standing in the carport that wasn't my neighbor with his shirt off, just a jacked white dude with, like, Nazi tattoos. And I was like, uh-oh. So then I just left. And the guys,
Is this where the meeting's at?
yeah.
Just checking for a friend.
So the guy's like texting me like yo, where the fuck you going? Where the fuck you going? You passed by the house. You passed by the house. And I was like, no. So I fully, and it kind of got confirmed at a later date. The guy had set me up to like basically get jumped at this fucking house. So I was like, that's not cool. But so fast forward probably like 5 or 6 days, and just so happens we're checking the mail at the same time. We haven't said a goddamn thing to each other after everything had happened. And we're just checking the mail at the same time. He's like, hey, man, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, what's up, man? And he looks like a fucking raccoon, 2 black eyes, fucking just looks like shit. And I go over there, and he's like, listen, man, I'm really sorry about last night, or the other night. You know, I was being a dickhead. I'm sorry for, you know, setting you up to get jumped by a gang member. Like, that's on me,
damn.
dude.
So
And then
sorry
he
about
was-
the up yours.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then he was like, listen, man, if anybody asks, because I still haven't told my wife or anything what happened. I told her, so basically he said, if anybody asks about it, just tell them that I was in Pensacola, Florida, and I got jumped by 3 black guys at a bar. That's what I
Jesus
told
Christ.
everybody what happened. And I was like, okay, man.
Okay. Whatever.
Good deal,
Make sure
man.
they're black.
Good deal.
Yeah.
By the way, I just got your publisher's clearinghouse letter. It's
Yeah.
yours.
Hey, does he still live across the street from you?
No, he moved.
Okay.
He
You've
moved.
since then too.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
moved and he has moved. But yeah, I mean, other than that night, I mean, great guy, you know.
We should get him on the podcast.
We should.
Thomas, have you ever been punched in the face?
Yeah, I have. I don't have any cool stories about it, but I've been punched in the face.
Besides the
Great.
ringing.
Back to
in your ears.
Pepper we go.
Besides the ringing. Besides the ringing in your ears.
I don't. Damn it.
I do have
Damn
a
it.
question. So you guys have been around music for fucking forever. Do
Yeah.
you guys also have horrible tinnitus?
Yeah.
No. Frank,
Yeah.
go ahead with your
Yeah,
yes.
I do. I, as a bass player, usually stood to if you're on stage looking at the crowd, I stood stage left.
Yeah.
So my right ear next to the hi-hats and the cymbals it's just, I have about 30% of hearing left. And what I have in the other ear is just pure, just a
Wait.
pure hollow ring.
Go to
Wait, what the
I know what
fuck
he's
is
saying.
tinnitus?
Tinnitus is a
It's a ringing in your ear it's a permanent damage of the hair of the follicles that protect your hearing.
all
your
day, all
eardrum.
night, all you hear in the background is, and this key
Oh, that sucks.
Have you
all
ever-
the time.
Have you ever had just like somebody smack you in the ear, get hit in the ear with a snowball
Yes,
or something like that?
Thomas has it.
Not
I'm
with
sure
a
Pepper has.
snowball. Nobody's ever hit my ear with a snowball, but yeah.
He's
I mean,
from
but-
Mississippi. He's never
Somebody
seen.
threw a
who
damn crawfish at me, and that son of a
Yeah.
bitch hit me in the
I got
ear.
hit in the
Well,
face
somebody
with a
hit
fucking alligator.
with a swimming pool shrimp. So yeah, it's basically like that kind of ring, but it's like an hour later when you can still hear it ring, and it's just like ghostly back. That's
I
tinnitus,
feel like
and
that would
Yeah.
drive you fucking insane.
and
You
it never
played it.
ends.
You played at 2 a.m. and you go home and you're banging a chick, and then when you're done banging the chick and you're trying to go to sleep, and all you hear after doing a bunch of cocaine and drugs and whatever else we
because
did,
that doesn't make your ears ring at all.
not at all. But all you would hear, I'm not kidding, I know the key.
I mean, it's just,
all the time.
Whenever there's silence, there is no silence.
And about the first year I was in the band, before actually Frank was in the band, I wore earplugs in Panama City. I went down the Sharkies. I'm sure you guys know where that is.
Yeah, Sharkies.
Spring break.
Yeah.
I went down there, and Frank played the next year. That's where he joined the band, and that's where Frank and I actually became as close as we are.
We saw a guy get hit by a minivan on the strip right in front of Sharkies.
Have you ever seen WKRP in Cincinnati? Dr. Johnny Fever? No. That's who got hit by a Toyota Spaceman.
It was hilarious.
We were sitting there going, that shit just happened.
And he got up like 10 minutes later. It was like, oh, this motherfucker.
What, even 10 minutes?
And then they were like, everybody's gathered around him, the fucking ambulance. And he just jumps up and fucking just books into the darkness, like to the fucking river or to the ocean.
Ocean, but he chugged a beer first.
Oh, my
And
God.
he had like a Hawaiian shirt and the mustache. He looked like Dr. Johnny Fever.
Fucking ridiculous.
WKRD. But the weekend I went, the year before Frank joined the band, I went and I put earplugs in because someone had told me to do that.
Yeah.
One of our drummer, who's actually Dr. Mark Esterly's on one of our episodes, episode 11, 10, something like that. Good friend of ours. And he said, do this. So I got those expensive earplugs.
Yeah.
And I started wearing them. Now, here's the weird part. When you start wearing earplugs on stage, your equilibrium goes off.
Yeah.
You can't really feel and you can't hear. But those 3 days were murder. Not like BTK murder, but murder. Yeah. But after that happened, I never played without them again. And I never had the ring in my ear. And all my bandmates, all my friends, everyone, we've had 58 fucking people in the band. I'm the one guy that has no hearing loss.
Yeah.
I put those earplugs in. And I still, whenever I play, I either have in-ear or wireless in-ears or earplugs. And I hear everything perfectly. And I've never had a problem. But those first 3 days, man, that balance thing will fuck you up. And then I think after that, Frank started wearing earplugs, but he already had tinnitus.
That's like the one piece of advice that I got from some fucking old guy that I was just like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. I don't want to look like some fucking queer on stage with the earplugs. But now, see, mine comes in waves where I'll just be hanging out and like everything will be. I have some like low background tinnitus, but every once in a while I'll just be hanging out and just like. It just
and it sounds like somebody tuned in a certain frequency from the bottom to the top. It's like
sometimes it's one ear, sometimes it's both ears. But like if people are talking to me, I'm like, you got to give me a couple minutes. Like I can't hear a fucking thing.
I am definitely going to suck a cock right now and sound super gay, which is fine. If that's your thing, that's fine. It's not like it's never happened to me.
All right.
But anyway. Even when I was in radio and I would go on stage and introduce a band or I would go see any band. I went to Roger Waters with Frank the last probably concert I went to was Roger Waters. I wear earplugs anywhere I go.
Yeah.
For that reason, because I'm going to hear everything perfectly and I'm going to walk out of there without that ringing in my ear.
And see, that'll fuck you up even more than playing when you're right in front of the main stage speakers. Because I went to a show like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And you know, I'm a
Velcro pygmies
guy. I'm a mosh pit guy.
Yeah,
and mosh pits take place right fucking there.
Who'd you see?
Oh, nobody you know. It's fucking local bands.
Okay, right on.
Well, first of all, we're friends with Three Doors Down. We're friends with the Velcro pygmies.
I'm not friends with anybody in Three Doors Down.
Okay, Three Doors Down is
Three Doors
here.
Down's they're from down the street.
I am. Ask Chris. Ask any of them. Yeah, just say Scott Clark, Louisville, Kentucky. Like. That motherfucker. He ate all our food.
Dude, this dude he needs a purse for all the names.
Certainly Chris Henderson, right? Chris Henderson, is that right?
Yeah, Chris Henderson. Yeah,
he knows. And then the whole band.
Street over, I believe he grew up.
Yeah.
Who's the bass player in jail that Jamie always talks shit about?
Todd Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that punched the guy at a party and killed him or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
he hit a guy with his car and killed him.
But we have a
man.
friend that used to work at like the local jail. Mm-hmm. And he said, by far, out of all the prisoners that he had to take care of, that guy was the fucking worst.
Wow. Frank, do me a favor while we're thinking about it. Take a picture of Brad from Three Doors Down.
No.
Brian Fox and Pepper and put all three of them together because the three of them is like the de-evolution of man.
I will do it in the finished product.
I will send it to Pepper on my own.
The de-evolution of man. There's
terrible. A picture. I was with Brian Fox, a friend of ours, great musician. Frank's been on a few of his albums. I've sang on one of his albums. He's actually my dentist.
All right, get to the fucking story. God damn. How many names are you going to drop? Just tell the story.
I got a brooms in here to sweep up some shit.
Oh, my God.
So Brian and Brad are at Derby party, and everybody kept going up to my buddy Brian Fox asking for his autograph. And so I knew Brad and I knew Brian. I put them together, and they kept walking up to my dentist asking for his autograph, sitting next to Brad Arnold. And I've got a picture of it, and I will send it to you, Pepper. And I'm telling you, all right, so three of you all.
So who are these people? What are these people's names again, Scott? So we can just get everybody make sure that.
All right, so let's do one more question. We're getting a little bit late. Think you guys got time? We're having a blast.
Yeah, it's good to go.
All right. So we did our Rushmore of serial killers, and you all have done yours, but we're big comedy guys. So I want your all's Rushmore each of comedy, stand-up. Just stand-up comedians. Thomas, you go last. Pepper?
Good.
Okay. We're gonna alternate. So I'm gonna say one. Tom's gonna say one.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Hold on. This is all-time stand-up comics.
All-time stand-up comic. You're right. It's your podcast, man. It's called Rushmore.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Tom Segura.
Really?
Ooh, man.
Yeah. All-time.
Frank,
he's great.
You just went and saw him, right?
No, I did not.
Somebody just texted me. I thought it was you. All right.
That's your ex-girlfriend.
I'm gonna go with number 4, Louis C.K.
Oh,
great choice.
I'm gonna go with number 3. Ooh, boy.
Now, hang on. You all do these in order? Like it's one, like whatever you say last is number 1?
Is the number 1.
See, I go backwards.
Yeah.
So I have the 4th one.
That would kill the suspense on the show if we were just like, hey, by the way, in 20 minutes, get our worst fucking pick.
Right.
Hang out.
Yeah. You start at number 4 and work your way to 1.
Yeah,
today on the top 20 countdown, Matt coming in at number 1 right off the bat.
Stick around for 2 hours for number fucking 4.
Hey, Pepper, thanks a lot. Pepper, I'm going to send you a plane ticket to come hang out with me. Thomas and Frank can go fuck themselves.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get Scott to shut up long enough, and then we're going to get your all's answers.
My number 3 is Cat Williams.
You are shocking me with your picks.
Scott, what about that? That's a pretty good fucking.
You know what? I wouldn't put him on Rushmore, but you can't deny that shit is fucking funny.
His Rushmore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's your Rushmore. That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
man.
Pepper's whole thing is really bad Rushmores. We got my number 3. I'm gonna say is give me for number 3.
It's tough.
Give me. I'm just gonna go on specials I've probably enjoyed the most over time. So I'm gonna say Anthony Jeselnik at number 3.
Okay.
Man,
that's interesting. All right, number 2 for me. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. Fuck. That is hard.
My 2 and 1 were decided.
You know what? Tom Segura gets bumped up to number 2. Mark Normand is now the new number 4.
Okay.
Mark Normand?
Yeah, Mark Normand is the new number 4. Tom Segura is my new number 2.
Comedy. And Cat Williams is
still number 3.
Number 3.
He'll never leave number 3, unfortunately.
Okay.
My number 2 only had 2 specials, but I think they're the 2 greatest specials of all time. I'm gonna go Eddie Murphy, number 2.
Hey Frank, you looking at my face, Frank?
No, I mean that's on my list.
I moved him off my list.
That's crazy.
My number 1 on my Rushmore.
Can we say it at the same time?
Of stand-up comedy.
You
think we're gonna get the same one?
Hold on. What was your third or your second, Thomas?
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, my bad.
He's got Louis Jeselnik. He's got Louis Jeselnik, right. Eddie Murphy, Pat Piper.
The rearranging of Peppers is what got me there. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Do you want to say it at the same time? Do you
think we have the same crossover?
I don't know, man.
Do you have the greatest comedian of all time on your list?
I do.
Are they number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, now I feel like you're going in a different direction.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I'm scared
You
now.
go ahead and go.
No, let's
All right.
say it at the same time.
Is
You know
your
what?
guy-
Thomas gets to go first because
We're gonna do 3, 2, 1. Say it at the same time.
Okay.
all right.
You ready?
3, 2, 1.
Richard Pryor.
What? Dave Chappelle.
Oh, Dave Chappelle. Oh yeah, I changed
Dave
mine.
Chappelle.
I changed
Sure.
mine. I changed mine to Dave Chappelle.
That's all right. So which one had which?
We both had Dave.
They
Chappelle.
both had Chappelle.
I don't think Pepper. He's saying Richard Pryor because he feels like that's what he's supposed to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I don't think he's ever seen a minute of
Not
Richard
one.
Pryor's stand-up comedy.
I just hear other people
he was
say
saying
it.
that
I'm
because
like,
he
I'm
thought
like,
he was
yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah, I'm a fucking hipster douchebag. Don't respect anything that I say.
Dave Chappelle is the answer.
You all named amazing comedians. Everything you put on there, I love all of these comedians, and
I
I would
agree.
probably,
We're
if I
very
had
good at
room on my Rushmore for all of them, I would. But
I will say this: I'm not super proud of my Jesselnick pick, but I panicked.
Yeah,
But he's
You panicked.
he,
I'm sorry, Jessica. Call it.
but I mean, comedians are supposed to go in and they're supposed to fucking divide the room. And a really good comedian like him just goes in and if you're not a Jeselnik devotee, you have no idea what he's going to do. And he
Now,
goes
let
in,
me
he divides
throw,
the room and then he brings it all together. He's a great comedian, man.
Let me throw Tommy a lifeboat real quick. Would you like to replace Jeselnik with Mitch Hedberg?
No, I'm not a big Mitch Hedberg guy. It's not. I mean, I think he's
I've
great,
seen
but
Mitch
it's not
Hedberg.
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
I'm that
replace him with Patrice O'Neal.
Okay.
That's good.
I feel like you're just compensating
It's so
for being
hard.
racist.
That's what's so fucking fabulous about your all's podcast.
Yeah, it's tough.
If you only get 4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
and you all said. I'm sorry, Frank. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was jumping in.
You guys have said, 4, now 6 great fucking comedians that I think are some of the best of all time.
Yeah.
And you all argued about Richard Pryor. I've literally watched in concert this weekend, and I fucking laughed hysterically. Had nothing to do with the gummies. And then my cousin and I were watching it, and I went, you know what? I want to see how this compares to Carlin, because that would be that would be on my Rushmore. And I watched it and I was like, he's hilarious. I've seen him. I actually got to see Carlin 3 times in concert. And then, me. It's all about me. Put me out. I'm on fire.
I saw Don Rickles. I saw
Dave Chappelle.
I saw Don Rickles twice. I'm that old.
I talked to Don Rickles. Actually, I didn't. My kid did.
I saw Chris Tucker.
I saw
I'm
Gilbert
sorry about
Gottfried.
that. I saw Fifth Element. It was good.
All right, Scott.
I saw that band that did Sex and Candy.
Oh, Marcy Playground.
We
I
used
watched
to play that
Titanic.
song.
I watched Titanic in 3D on the re-release.
All right, let's judge them, Frank. If you had to pick from their list,
If I had to pick from their list, Mark Norman, I don't think is funny at all. Period. End of story. All right, it's been a good night. Thanks, guys, for coming.
Thanks, guys. It's great
All right,
time.
let me go ahead.
Rushmore
Let me go ahead and
podcast.
let's
That's
put
a
them in the
great
waiting room. Let's see, put them in the stop. Yeah, I don't get it. I've watched. I've given him 1,000 chances, and I don't get it. Scott has a comedian that he loves that I don't think is funny or enjoyable.
Yeah, and his name is Ryan Sickler.
I don't think he's funny.
You can't do it.
I give a shit about it all the time.
These are both
Talking about Rushmore alums,
These are
dude.
Rushmore alumni, former
It's
podcast.
not-
I don't care,
Buddy, I've got the honeydew. I've got I've got.
Dude,
I mean,
the crab
I'm a
feast-
fucking crab feast.
The crab feast,
I
other
have the
than
old
it's
crab feast. Are
dude,
you
other
kidding?
than it's
I'm
gonna get
be-
weird, it is the best podcast on the fucking planet.
right?
Record that. Make sure that's recorded. No, Sickler is my. That's why I started
All right,
doing
hold on.
podcasts.
Oh wow!
Thomas, you gonna do it? All right, we're gonna call Mark Norman real quick.
All right,
You
All right.
motherfuckers.
all right, Scott, you want mine?
Nope, I'm not going to say a word.
You
I'm
don't.
going to let you do this one.
Do you want mine though?
No.
Oh, you don't want my four? Just for shits?
You
Are we gonna
say
get right
whatever you
into
wanna
this?
say. He's calling Mark Norman. You said
Okay.
you didn't find
To be
him funny.
fair, he's probably playing a show.
I'm going to love this.
Hey, yeah, okay, well, get him on there. I'll tell him.
No, we bailed on it.
Yeah, we-
Thomas bailed on it.
Oh shit! So I'm just
Don't
having
be
to headphone
pussing
it
out.
after, and I
Don't
can
be
hear everything
pussing
so much
out.
better.
Frank will tell you facts.
I mean,
He doesn't like.
What would
he
you like me
doesn't-
to do? Lie?
Wait a minute. I don't want you to lie, but I just realized Mark Norman was on his list, so you were about to go my way. Let's hear. I'm sorry. Finish.
What was your judgment, Frank?
I don't think he's that funny.
No,
What was
on
your
the
judgment
Rushmores.
between the two guys Rushmore for comedians? I wrote it down. I know who I'm
Okay, so
going
we
with.
got on Pepper's side, we've got Mark Norman. I'm sorry, Mark Norman in second or third or fourth.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
I don't remember.
Okay, so we got Chappelle, Segura, Cat Williams, and Mark Norman. And on the other side, we've got Louis C.K., Anthony Jeselnik, who you've replaced with
Pretend he's also Patrice O'Neal.
Patrice O'Neal. Now, okay, so you didn't.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good
No,
1A.
You didn't. Patrice O'Neal usually comes with a 1A or a B, which is Bill Burr.
Oh.
I mean, because they are so. I mean, because they came up, they did Opie and Anthony did together for so long, and they were like,
that's his 1A from O.
They're the yin and yang.
Yeah. What about this Owen guy that everybody likes?
Owen Benjamin, nobody likes that guy.
He's terrible.
He's not that bad.
Oh yeah, Owen Benjamin. Nobody.
Lost his
goddamn
mind.
We'll say it now.
He's the
Hey, do y'all have his number? Call him. I'll tell him. Fuck Owen Benjamin.
Fuck yeah.
I just saw him on
Fuck
the
you.
episode. I just saw him on the episode of Bar Rescue, and he was awful.
His website is thebigpianist.com. Don't like that.
Oh my God.
Where's my piano?
Actually, I don't know.
All right. Anyways, where are we at?
All
Judging
right.
our Rushmore.
So Frank, you got to judge between Pepper and Thomas.
I just did.
Did
Probably with the only difference being, wow. I'm probably going to go.
Eddie Murphy.
I'm going to go Tommy on this one.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
And you know what? It's weird. I would.
And that's really because of Louis.
Yeah,
really, I
Dr.
think.
Doolittle.
I'm going to say this. If I had to go to jail with someone, it's goddamn going to be Pepper. And we're going to have a good time.
We're gonna have more fun.
We'll wake up the next morning going, how's your mail? My mail's good. But
We're gonna figure out how to make some goddamn toilet hooch.
we're going to make a podcast baby tomorrow for goddamn sure. Rushmore Podcast.
So,
It's going to get weird.
okay.
Frank Green, Scott Clark, Thomas McCormack. We also got Pepper Goins. I have to go with Tommy on this one.
Okay.
The fact that first of all, Eddie Murphy has always been my favorite. That's the reason I started doing comedy and I started getting into comedy. And Frank and I write comedy together. That's why I do it is Eddie Murphy. But I've taken him off my Rushmore. But the fact that you had Lou.
So he went from one to not
He
even.
did three.
If Richard Pryor's
He
on
did
it,
three
and
fucking
you
stand-ups.
if you
He
took
did
Eddie
three
Murphy,
stand-ups.
if you took Eddie Murphy off to put Richard Pryor on, I think it's a mistake. I think
Oh,
Eddie's
no, Richard Pryor's number one.
Eddie is far and away better than Richard Pryor.
I think Eddie did everything Richard did better.
Dr. Doolittle.
100%.
Shrek.
Hey,
2.
man, I talk
Shrek
to animals. What
Forever
about you?
After.
Hey, I'm on cocaine. I'll shoot your tires out. But you go talk to animals. Richard Pryor's number one.
Richard meanders too much. Richard just
Carlin. I mean, I can do my whole list. I'm just going to say
Carlin had Bill and
Louis
Ted.
C.K. Louis C.K.'s on there. I've replaced Eddie with Louis.
That's a terrible choice.
I mean, Louis great.
And Dave.
From a racial standpoint, I agree with.
I think like pound for pound, if you're just like,
I just want to be diverse.
If you're putting in a fucking vacuum of just his two specials, I think Eddie's the greatest comedian of all time. I think he's
If
the
you put it in
best
a
to
vacuum,
ever fucking
buddy,
in that 3-year period.
Hey,
But if
man.
you don't do that, I think Dave Chappelle passes him.
Hey, man, you ain't got to tell me, man. I love Eddie Murphy. I do this all the time. I can talk like Eddie Murphy if you want me to. You want me to talk like Eddie Murphy? I love his mama. You want to talk about Vernon? Lillian cannot use the phone. I can do this all day. That's how big of an Eddie Murphy fan I am. Frank hates it.
His Bill Cosby joke is still one of my favorite things.
Well, you can tell Bill Cosby to have a cold and a smile and shut the fuck up.
Delirious and raw
Yep.
are fucking decimate anything that
Richard Pryor ever did.
But Richard Pryor wrote it. It's like saying the Beatles.
Eddie wrote it too.
The Led Zeppelin was better than the Beatles because the Beatles wrote it.
So you
But
think
Beatles did
Eddie
write
didn't
it.
write
The
it?
real take is they both.
The Beatles wrote it. Led
You don't
Zeppelin
think-
made it better.
Eddie
Richard
wrote
wrote
it.
it.
Richard, he didn't fucking rip off Richard Pryor.
And this is why it's called the Rushmore Podcast, because you
Yeah.
can talk about this shit
It's
all
our-
goddamn day.
It's our whole
Frank,
thing, dude.
you know, we're already at the limit. I will sit here and do this for fucking 10 years.
All right, I'm gonna go all in. Here's my list. Fuck you guys.
Here we go.
Eddie,
Okay.
Kevin Meaney,
Okay.
Deep fucking pool. That's not right.
That's not right.
Norm McDonald is my number.
Okay.
Is my
Well,
number one.
He's
my number one.
Anthony Jeselnik and Patrice can go fuck themselves. Put Norm on my list.
I agree.
I'm writing that down.
And Dave Chappelle.
Number one.
In order, it's Kevin Meaney, Eddie Murphy,
Yep.
Dave Chappelle, Norm McDonald, number one.
I'm not mad at that. That's a good list.
You know, Norm Macdonald is a voice on the popular children's cartoon Skylanders.
I did not know that.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah, no, I swear to God. I was my kids were watching it one day, and I was like, "Is that fucking Norm Macdonald?"
You hear the voice and you know who it is.
It's like, is he voicing that weird fucking gay-looking goblin? And
Man,
Googled it, and he is.
He is. I love him on Mike Tyson's Mysteries. He's
Oh
a
my
fucking
God.
he's a fucking beast on Mike
The
Tyson's
Skylanders
Mysteries.
thing doesn't make any sense because it's not funny. Like, it's not funny at all. He's not being
Right.
Norm Macdonald at all.
Just
Really.
wait a second. There's a show called Mike Tyson's Mysteries.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's
Oh,
an adult
I've
film.
got to
Yeah.
fucking find this right
You don't
now.
know that's a
No.
whole another episode for you guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's Mike Tyson, and he goes around with his Asian daughter and a gay ghost, and
Yes.
who
It's
else?
Scooby-Doo
And
with Mike
Pigeon.
Tyson.
And
Don't forget about the pigeon.
I'm a ghost and I'm
Hold on,
gay.
Pigeon, which is Norm Macdonald, is a pigeon.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. They made Norm Macdonald a pigeon. How disrespectful is that? Norm Macdonald is one of the best of all time. They made him a fucking pigeon.
It's a fucking
Hey,
great.
you're a Jew from New York. You're a pigeon.
And that's exactly how he talks throughout the whole
Super
fucking.
racist.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right.
All right. You got any more questions?
So who's got the better? Scott? What's your list total?
No, I can sit here and talk for hours, but
I want to hear
was-
your list. Your
my
front to
list
back.
of my list of front to back. Oh, my list.
Yeah.
Oh, it's easy. It's Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Bill Cosby, Eddie. I took off Eddie Murphy, but Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
That's
I
five.
feel like you.
That's 5 comics.
Oh, did I do 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did 5.
Well, I made Rushmore. I made one more mountain on Rushmore
Okay.
tonight on the Rushmore podcast.
Yeah,
Scott
give me-
Clark
matter
makes
of
an
fact-
extra.
Replace my
Geologist.
list with 5 Howie Mandels.
Geologist.
I've got a glove in
You
my.
know what?
I got a glove here somewhere. Hang on, I'll be
put that
right
glove on
back.
your fucking head.
All right.
Oh,
give
you guys.
me 4 Bill Cosbys.
Hey, Bill
Well,
Cosby
with
was a good
stuff,
comic.
with stuff. You get, man,
And
those albums back in the day.
Yeah. Oh
You
no,
know,
like
I
no
was like,
bullshit.
Bill Cosby himself.
My grandma like
no, dude,
loved
no, Bill Cosby himself. We're talking 20 years
Yeah,
earlier than that.
I'll
So
take a
George-
My parents had they weird enough. I'm 49.
They were super drunks.
51, 52. They were terrible drunks. But my parents had all the Bill Cosby albums, and then when HBO came out, we had all the Richard Pryor things that came out in concert, Richard Pryor, Sunset Strip, and then we had all the Robin Williams shit and George Carlin. So my parents didn't know what they were doing to my brain.
Yeah.
Robin
But
Williams
I've been a
is the most
comedy
overrated
fucking-
son of a bitch.
Man, but he still makes me laugh. He's
He's
overrated. He's overrated as a stand-up. He's a great actor.
Well, yeah, that's
But-
what he did. He came
Yeah,
up with
but-
stand-up. He's
But
an
so did fucking Steve Martin.
Stole shit.
Terrible stand-up. Great actor.
Steve Martin?
Steve
great
Martin's
fucking stand-up.
Terrible. Grandpa bought a rubber.
Well,
Steve Martin can suck a dick. in
George
his white
Carlin.
suit with an arrow
George
through his
Carlin
head.
would have done like an album every 2
Year.
or 3 years.
Every
would've
every
been-
year.
right.
No, he's
Instead
saying
of-
Oh,
he
I know.
shouldn't have done
he,
that.
He shouldn't have done that because like they
Yeah.
kind of started getting kind of like all right,
There's too much material,
kind of
and
the same
Hey,
thing.
I'm just pulling this
He didn't-
out
he-
right off
hold on,
my
hold on.
fucking desk.
hold on, Scott. He didn't give them time to become classics.
That's a pretty big
Yeah.
book.
That is a big book.
I don't care what
But,
anyone
you
says.
know.
George Carlin will always be on my list.
I could put all the songs that I've ever recorded on an album and put it out, and people would be like, "Damn, that fucking sucks." But there's a couple good ones in there. But overall,
we all got a couple good ones in it.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel about George Carlin.
yeah.
I like Bill and Ted.
all right. I'm going to do one last question because we're getting guys. I can't thank the guys from Rushmore Podcast, Thomas McCormack, Pepper Goins being on with us on It's Gonna Get Weird, and I'm pretty sure we're on your podcast too. If not, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Dude, just send me this file. We'll do a swapcast.
That's a the Swabcast. That's even better than making a podcast, baby.
That's
a
hot.
Swabcast. That's even hotter. Actually, you have a boner.
BlueChew.com.
BlueChew.com is
Promo code
the sponsor of that boner.
All right, and
Good,
Pepper,
Russell.
go ahead
For
and
your
plug
first
your little glove rock.
You know what?
thing.
I'm not gonna plug the glove thing. I'm gonna plug a actually really good podcast.
Before you do that, can I plug a podcast?
Sure.
No.
Music is funny.
Pepper?
Music is
that's the
funny
one
with
that I was gonna
Raylan. I saw what he had written down.
Okay, so Raylan Nelson is Willie Nelson's granddaughter. I am close personal friends with her at this point.
She lives in Nashville. I know her.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
We all know her.
she started a podcast, and I fully expected it to fucking suck
And it's good.
because I mean they've never done a podcast before, so just out of the gate, I thought it was going to suck. Turns out, does not suck. They've already had a bunch of fucking. They've had Doug Stanhope, Mark Norman, who
Josh
he
Wolf.
hates, Josh Wolf, a bunch of other fucking people. It's a great fucking podcast. Everybody go check that out.
Right on.
Listen, we've gotten a few.
She's no, she utilizes the name. She utilizes the history of the name to.
Of course, you should.
Of course, fucking do it.
How did two guys from Mississippi get all these fucking? We've gotten some pretty good guests, but you look at the Rushmore podcast list of guests. How the fuck do you guys get those fucking guests?
We ask them.
There you go.
We do the same thing. We got Steve Cantwell. We've got Brett Tobler. We've got NFL people.
Scott,
But you got to think we did the
Technique.
podcast for 2 fucking years without any of that shit. But we capitalized on the pandemic. Everybody was fucking bored and had nothing to do, and we hit it at the right time and just bothered
Perfect.
a bunch of fucking people. Got a bunch of no's, which are great, and then we got some people that said yes. And then what kind of happened after that was we had like 2 or 3 legitimate people that said yes. It was just our fucking ammo to get the rest of the people. They're like, oh, this guy did it. This guy did it. Why won't I do it? And he fucking did it.
That's kind of what you do.
Just roll with
As soon as you got a repertoire of people that are maybe names in the business, somebody else is gonna go. Oh, okay, so it must be okay.
Yeah, it's Guns N' Roses.
Now, we
and
have
Kiss.
been like, hey, we had Ari Shafir on twice, and we've had guests be like, oh, we fucking hate that Jew. We're not going to do your show.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
whoa.
a lot of anti-Semitics out there.
It's terrible.
You do live in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Well, no, these are.
No, we're talking to you, Ian Edwards.
You want to name Ian like that? Ian Edwards?
Yeah, I will.
Jews.
Fucking
Who else do we have?
Yeah, we're talking to you, Jake Paul.
Is this pre-Kobe Ari or post Ari? Post Kobe Ari.
Post.
Wow.
Yeah,
Kick
we've
it.
had him on twice.
Sweet.
All right, we're getting on there in time. I would stay here and do this. Would you all be willing to come back? I thought we actually, for a 4-person podcast, this went really well. Would you all do this again?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Let's space
you
it out.
totally
Let's
had the
air out.
opportunity to say no and get up and walk out. That would have been whole lot funnier.
That was
Yeah, we
a-
could have did the Mark Norman.
God damn it, we're trying to write comedy for you guys.
Or we could do like a live stream.
That would be fun.
I'm
Yeah.
down with that.
I'm down with that too. Peppers.
Hey, Pepper, you want to join the fucking show and talk to us for a
I'm
second?
sorry, I got a show at 10:30, and
All right, fucking. Hey, watch out for Bonaducci over there. Fucking.
Hey, Brian Foxaducci.
Oh, you guys haven't even seen the fucking.
Oh my God.
Bullshit.
Oh no, I saw your national anthem.
Dude,
the other day.
that is the shit.
God,
It makes me proud.
I want to suck on it. God bless America.
I had that haircut when I was in 12th grade.
I had that in 1987.
No, I
I
mean,
looked
but
like Duran Duran, and I was awesome.
It
Yeah.
looks good though. You're looking good. I
All
like
right,
it.
last question, Rushmore. Everybody gets one to put on the Rushmore between the 4 of us. Everybody gets one.
Okay.
What's the weirdest fucking thing that has ever happened or you've ever seen in your life? One thing, and I'll tell you mine when you all think about it. I actually have 2. First off, Mississippi, Jackson, gun to my head. You take your fucking hands out of that bag or I'm going to blow a fucking bullet in your head. Yes, sir. I was just getting socks to go to jail. But the actual one is I was in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky camping and I'm laying in a hammock. The entire all my friends had gone for a hike. I'm like, fuck you and your hike. I'm going to sit here and do some other stuff by myself. And I just see trees getting cut like from down the hill. Chainsaw over and over. And this guy runs out and he's got a chainsaw, and he's cut down 7 trees on the way down to me laying in my hammock by the creek, and he just looks at me. And he runs off back into the woods and starts cutting down trees on his way out. Weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
That is pretty weird.
Besides the gun in my head. It happened. And the guy's name is Jamie something. I won't say his last name.
Jamie Weeks, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You'd probably know him. It's probably
Jamie
from your part of town. Probably.
Hey,
all right. Thomas?
Come back to me because I
all
don't
right,
have anything fucking
I
cool.
got one. I mean, it's such a long story. There's no way I can get into it here. But I shattered my elbow when I was 17, and man, I don't even know if there's a place to find that story on the internet. But it is an acid trip of a fucking story. So I shattered my elbow, and it was Halloween, 2000, whatever the fuck it was, and the girl who came and gave me drugs for my injury was dressed up like a nurse. The guy who set my elbow in place after it was dislocated and broken was dressed up like a doctor. Like, it was just a fucking acid trip of an experience, and that is probably the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me.
Thomas?
I'll just say I don't have anything.
The time that I tried to suck your dick.
The time you tried to suck my dick was weird.
The time you put peanut butter all over your balls.
That's not a really weird thing. That's a very normal
I'm not
thing.
even
I did
talking
do that.
Frank Scott stories. I'm talking
That's so
personal
hot.
stories.
That is a very common thing to do.
Okay.
The peanut butter on the balls thing.
Right.
Has everybody done that?
I feel like
Of
everybody.
course. Of course. I'm a dog. I love dogs.
I did just watch somebody get arrested about 10 minutes.
Hold on. Yeah.
About 10 minutes before
Peanut
we did
butter.
this show.
Peanut butter makes dog nuts taste so much.
Oh yeah.
It's a delicacy.
No. Scott, we had the funniest thing that happened to us this week prepared. So Thomas is going to go through that.
Oh, no. I was just saying before we got
That's
up here,
y'all's-
I thought I was going to be late because I was at Dollar General
Right.
down the street. And there was cops that were parked behind me. Well, I say parked. They were there to help someone get into their car because they had locked themselves out. This is an employee. So they're there to unlock the door or to Slim Jim the fucking door open to get them into their car.
Right.
When they opened the car, they found a bunch of weed, and they arrested the Dollar General employee right there in the fucking parking lot.
That's bullshit. As soon as the lock goes up, I go, okay, thanks.
Yeah, no.
Thanks,
I'm like,
thank
this
you.
guy, this guy
Lock them
called
up.
the cops
Lock
and asked them
up.
to unlock it.
Lock them up.
Hey,
Wow.
round of applause for all you motherfuckers. Now get the fuck out.
That's
Yeah, that literally
bullshit.
happened 2 hours ago. I was
That's
on the way
such
here.
bullshit.
My funniest
how
thing in the week that I was
stupid.
going to say is we had a birthday party for my fucking cat on 420.
Saw all 3 of your cats on Facebook. You
Yeah.
weird motherfucker.
They were
love
none of them were my decision to bring into the fucking house.
I think you also posted today. Happy surprise. Happy surprise drug test day.
True. Yeah. Yeah, if I want pussy, I have to allow more pussies to fucking come into my fucking house and my
All right, Frank,
Been
dumb
there.
fuck wife happy.
let's finish
Been
it with
there.
you. What's the weirdest thing that you can think of that you've ever seen, ever?
I was driving next to a guy who, like with a semi, the flatbed semi trailer,
Yes.
and then they have like the top part with the bed, and then they have like the under, like you can hit the wheels. Now they have the like the bars that come down that keep you from driving under it.
Yes.
Well, this guy who was driving next to me on my right, I was on the inside lane, he was on the outside. He didn't stop. There was a truck that was parked, or a semi truck flatbed. This is before
These bleeds?
the fat bled. That's when the fat bled. So this is before they started putting those bars to keep you driving from underneath them.
Yes.
This guy drove right the fuck underneath it and just
You seen it.
he was right next to me, and then he was gone, and I turned around and I stopped, and there was nobody there.
It's gone for.
I was like, oh, fuck, and I just pulled over, and I got out, and I just waited for the cops. There ain't no way I was going to go look at that fucking dude.
No.
I'm proud of you for not looking at that dude.
I was like, I don't want any part of that. I should have stole his wallet.
The other one was a.
Hey, was it a Nissan Sentra in 1996 in London, Kentucky? Because that was me.
Shit, that was you. Oh my God.
That was me.
I can't believe we're meeting each other for the first time.
And my car broke down. And the girl went, your car broke down. I'm sorry. Best day of my life.
Wow.
It's Rushmore, the podcast. Thomas McCormack, Pepper Goins. Jesus Christ, we got to do this again. And Frank Green, you can get us anywhere. Guys, you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
No, just Rushmore Podcast and everything. Get Lyle Gloves with Lyle Corp on Twitter. Fucking Pure Spectrum CBD, Blue Chew, all the other sponsors. And
Music is funny.
Music is funny from Raylan Nelson. Go listen to our ASMR episode. It's the greatest thing we've ever fucking done. That's it.
Sweet.
Pepper?
He said all.
Your gloves? Your
Go
gloves?
check out.
He
Go
just
check
did
out the best baseball team on the goddamn planet, the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, that's well, no, I haven't put out any music yet.
Send us your Masked Singer predictions.
Yeah, whenever we come on again, hopefully I'll have an album to promote. I'm trying to do an album.
Right on.
Frank does that. Silkwood Showers. The name of the album is Great Depression.
Yeah,
I'm Scott Clark.
It's
Frank
on
Green.
all the streaming
Thanks for
things.
the album.
Whatever you want. It's going to get weird is on every platform. It's going to get weird. 369gmail.com. Any platform. It's easy to find us. You can get it. Rushmore, guys. Holy shit. This was a blast. I want to do it again. I fucking love each and every one of you, and I want to put a pinky in your butt.
Love you. Love you.
I know it's wrong.
Peace, guys.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's going to
Love
get weird. Frank
Love
Green,
you.
Scott Clark. Gosh.
Peace.
Jesus Christ. That was fun.